We invite the guests of honor and distinguished VIPs to be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated.
我们有请各位就座。
Next, we will be having a chanting session from various Buddhist traditions. We will begin with the Pali, followed by Chinese, Indonesian, Korean, Tibetan, and Vietnamese.
接下来即将进行的是来自不同佛教传承的诵经仪式。诵经将依次以巴利语、中文、印尼语、韩语、藏语以及越南语进行。
All the venerables, please arrange yourself in 2 rows. We are about to start our chanting. The music, can you stop the music, please? Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagavara sama sambuddho Acharana Sampano Sugato Lokavidu Anutaru Purisadama Sarati Satta Deva Manusanam Buddho Bhagavati Sakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Panayiko Pachata Veditabo Vinyuhiti Supatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujupatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yayapatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samicipatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidam Tatari Purisa Yogani Ata Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjarikaraniyo Anutarang Punyaketang Lokasati Karaniya Mata Kusalena Yang Tang Santang Padang Abisameja Sako Ujuja Sujuja Suwajo Samudu Anatimani Sadu Sakoja Subaroja Apakijoja Salaukavuti Santindriyoja Nipakoja Apagabo Kulesu Ananugido Nachakudang Samancharikinchi Yena Vinyu Pari Upavadeyo Sukino Vakemino Hontu Sabe Sata Vavantu Sukitata Yeke Chipana Bhutati Tasawatawarawa Anawasesa Digavaye Mahatawa Majimarasa Kanukatula Ditawaye Wadita Ye Jadure Vasanti Avidure Uttavasambhave siva sabe sata vavantu sukhitata naparo param nikubeta nadimanye takata chanam kanchi yarosana patigasanya nanyamanya sadukamicheya mata yata niyam putang ayusa eka putamandurake evam pisabhabutesu manasa bhavaye aparimanam metancha sabalokasmi manasam bhavaye aparimanam udang aduja tiriyancha asambada เวรังอสัมปตังอิตังจารานิสิโนวะสายโนวะยาวตาสาวิกตมิโดเอตังสติอดิเตยะรามเมตังวิหารังอิดามาหุอิตินจานุปกามศิลาวะตาสเนนะสัมปันโนกามิสุวิเนยเกตังนาหิจาตุกัปปเสยะอุณาเรติติเอเตนะสัจวาเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพดาเอเตนะสัจวาเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพดาเอเตนะสัจวาเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพดาสาธุสาธุสาธุสปิติโยวิภาจันตุสัพพะโรโควินาศตุมาเตภาวะตวันตรายสุขีติกายุโกภาวะภวันตุสัพพะมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพะเทวตาสัพพะพุทธานุภาเวนะสัทธาสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพะมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพะเทวตาสัพพะธัมมานุภาเวนะสัทธาสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพะมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพะเทวตาสัพพะสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาสติภวันตุเตนาคตายาคาพุทธานังปปากาหานิวารานังปริตาสานุภาเวนะหันตุเตสังอุปาดาเวสัพเพบุตตาภาลาปาตาปเจตนัญชยังบาลังอรหันตนัญจเตเจนะราคัมบันดามิสัพพะสุเอเตนะสัจจวเจนะโหตุติจายมังคลังเอเตนะสัจจวเจนะดุกาอุปาสมินตุเตเอเตนะสัจจวเจนะบายาอุปาสมินตุเตเอเตนะสัจจวเจนะโรกาอุปาสมินตุเตสัพเพสัทธาภวันตุสุขีคาทาสัพเพสัทธาภวันตุสุขีทาทาสัพเพสัทธาภวันตุสุขีคาทาสาธุสาธุสาธุ
ข
보고 있어요?
나와요. 보고 있어.
보고 있어.
잘 나오시네.
그래서 11명이 나오네요. 여기서
왜
보고
내는
계세요.
안 나오지? 다르지? 아니 똑같아. 똑같은 거 같아.
시간차가 있는 거 아닐까요?
똑같아. 아니야.
죄송해요. 이렇게 한국에서 보고 계십니다. 스님들 기다리고 계시는 대기 중인 모습. 유튜브 라이브로다. 네.
The most respected Venerables, Excellencies, and ladies and gentlemen, please allow us from Indonesia to chanting Buddhist chanting in Bahasa. May this conference go smoothly and successfully. Music, please.
예
English, Korean, Japanese. And Korean.
Hàn Quốc
Hàn Quốc.
nhớ chồng nói mình
You Vietnamese.
đã đến sama miệng à.
Korean.
Duyên đạo Bồ Đi duyên vô đắc di vô sở đắc vô Phật đa cô đăng vô quái ngài vô quái ngài vô vô hồ cùng vô biên liên đạo vô căn liên bàn Cô đề cô đi ban nhà ba la mật vô đề đại
A very good afternoon to our guest of honor, the Honorable Dato' Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Deputy Premier of Sarawak and Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government, Sarawak.
尊敬的大会主宾，沙副总理兼公共卫生房屋及地方政府部长拿督阿玛沈必贤。
Honorable Member Mr. Miro Anasimu, Sarawak State Legislative Assembly for Serembu, represented by Councillor Prem Anak Nutas.
士林部区州议员米罗西姆代表 Councillor Prem Anak Notes。
Dr. Georgina Afiangao, the Director of Unit for Other Religions, Unit for Kuching, represented by Ms. Roslyn Mbai Kasim.
沙总理署其他宗教单位总监 Dr. Georgina Afiangao 代表 Ms. Roslyn Mbai Kasim。
Venerable Kamalik Shesomo, founder of Sakyadhita International Conference.
国际少女人大会发起人空位法师。
Dr. Sharon Asser, President of Sakyadhita International Association of Buddhist Women.
国际少女人大会主席 Dr. Sharon Asser。
Mr. Kokaki, President of Kuching Buddhist Society.
古今佛教居士林林长许觉喜居士。
Mr. Jason Pan Chin Fu, General Manager for Business Development and Marketing of Business Events Sarawak.
沙拉越会议局业务拓展与营销总经理 Jason Tan 先生。
Venerable Guangyong Sunim, President of Korean Bhiksuni Association.
韩国比丘尼协会会长广隆法师。
Dr. Pamela Ayoyatunde, Keynote Speaker.
本次大会主题演讲者 Dr. Pamela。
Venerable Xuanlin, Vice President of Kuching Buddhist Society.
古今佛教居士林副林长释雪林法师。
Venerable Xue Wen, Buddhist Affairs Officer of Kuching Buddhist Society.
古今佛教居士林佛事主任释雪文法师。
Mr. Pang Chi Hao, Honorable Secretary of Kuching Buddhist Society.
古今佛教居士林秘书方志浩居士。
Venerable Xiao Hang from Kuching Tai Kok Lim Buddhist Association.
大觉林佛教会是小航法师。
Venerable Chi Abbas of Kuching Tzu Chao Buddhist Association.
古晋慈照净院主持释持宇法师。
Venerable Fo Sheng from Kuching San Shen Tong Buddhist Association.
三圣佛堂释佛生法师。
Venerable Bhikkhuni Dhammika of Kuching Dhamma Vijaya Buddhist Center.
古晋法圣佛教中心主持 Dhammika 法师。
Yang Berbahagia Tuan Tazudi Mota, Acting CEO Sarawak Islamic Information Center.
沙拉越回教资讯中心代理执行员达祖丁。
Yang Berbahagia Dato' Sri Day Chin Kin, Chairman of Malaysian Buddhist Association, Representative.
马佛总沙州分会主席拿督郑正金代表林迪辉先生。
Ms. Bernadette Sammy, represented Roman Catholic Archbishop of Kuching.
天主教古晋总教会代表伯纳丁萨里小姐。
Dato' Dr. Kalwinder Singh Kaira, President of Sarawak Sikh Temple Association.
沙拉越锡克庙协会主席拿督卡尔温德辛凯拉。
Mr. Gurudeo Singh, Secretary of Sikh Temple Association, Sarawak.
沙拉越锡克庙协会秘书古迪尔辛可先生。
Mr. Krishnarao Prabhu, Chairman of Malaysian Hindu Sangam, Sarawak Branch.
马来西亚印度教协会沙拉越分会会长克里希纳拉奥先生。
Dr. Balachandran Annamalai, representative from Hinduism.
新都教代表巴拉参人博士。
Ms. Tahere Pang, President of the Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Sarawak.
沙拉越巴哈伊信仰灵体会代表 Mrs. Tahira Bang。
Mr. Chan Jiao Wing, Honorable Secretary of Assistance Malaysian Buddhist Kulapati Association.
马来西亚佛教居士总会副秘长陈兆荣。
Ms. Kong Sian Ing, Chairperson of Kuching Buddhist Fellowship.
古今佛教友谊会会长江炫莹居士。
Representative from Taiwan Buddhist Sutsu Foundation Malaysia Kuching.
台湾佛教慈济基金会古今支会代表温美丽。
Representative from President of Amitabha Buddhist Society of Kuching.
古今净宗学会代表陈彦全先生。
Ms. Sharon Quay, Acting President of Kuching Tao Cultural Association.
道法自然古今道教会署理会长 Sharon 叶小姐。
most venerable members of the Mahasangha, esteemed speakers, honored representatives from various religions, traditions, and Buddhist communities, Kalyanamita from both near and afar, and members of the esteemed media.
诸位来自世界各国的法师大德们，各位贵宾、论文发表者、工作坊带领人、各宗教与佛坛代表、海内外的善友以及各大媒体朋友们。
Welcome to the 19th Sakyadhita International Conference on Buddhist Women 2025. My name is TP. I will be your host for this afternoon.
欢迎出席2025年第19届国际佛教善女人大会。我是今天的主持人 Bobo 李波音。
At this moment filled with wisdom and compassion, we gather to witness the grand opening of the 19th Sakyadhita International Conference at Kuching, Sarawak, the land of hornbills.
在这个充满智慧与慈悲的时刻，我们欢聚一堂，共同迎来的是第19届国际善女人大会在犀鸟之乡沙月古晋的盛大开幕典礼。
Ladies and gentlemen, to start off with our event this afternoon, please welcome KBS Culture Troupe to perform Sarawak Ethnic Culture Performance, Praise of the Hornbill, House of the City.
接下来，我们掌声有请的是古晋佛教居士林文艺团为我们呈现沙洲民族文化汇演《西乡之韵》，猫城共舞。
BTS culture to another round of applause. So dance is said to be the unique charm of the whole world country, showing harmonious coexistence of Sarawak's diverse ethnic groups. The dancers depict the booming development of the cat city Kuching with energetic movements conveying a scene of unity, friendship, and prosperity.
我们感谢国境佛教居士林文艺团带来的精彩演出，为本次的盛会带来了吉祥的开端。此舞是以犀鸟之乡的独特魅力为背景，展现沙拉越多元民族和谐共处的美丽画面。舞者们以充满活力的动作，描绘出猫城、古晋蓬勃发展的景象，传递出团结、友爱与繁荣昌明的景象。再次给他们热烈的掌声。
Ladies and gentlemen, next we would like to invite Mr. Ko Hockey, President of Kuching Buddhist Society, to come up on stage for the welcome remarks.
接下来有请的是古晋佛教居士的领长许觉喜居士上台致欢迎词，有请。
A very good afternoon, everyone. 大家下午好。Yang Berhormat Datuk Amar Profesor Dr. Shin Kui Yen, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, Honorable Dr. Sharon Su, President of Sakyadhita, International Association of Buddhist Women, Venerable Wan Yong Sunim, Association of Buddhist Women, Wan Yong Sunim, President of a Korean Bhikkhuni Association, Honorable guests, esteemed speakers, Venerable monks and nuns, respected academics, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and a warm welcome to the 19th Sakyadhita International Conference. It is my great honor and privilege as chairperson of the host organizing committee to stand before you today as we gather in this beautiful and friendly city of Kuching for a memorable occasion. To those who have traveled, whether from countries across Asia, the Americas, Europe, Australia, Indonesia, or beyond, we are grateful for your presence. Your commitment to this gathering certainly reflects the shared vision of Sakyadhita to empower and uplift the daughters of the Buddha and to create a world where Buddhist women can thrive with dignity, wisdom, and compassion. This year's theme, Navigating Change, Buddhist women in transition, could not be more timely in this ever-changing world today. Buddhist women are at the forefront of navigating these changes. We hope that over the next 5 days, which will be packed with thought-provoking paper presentation, as well as enjoyable and meaningful workshops, you will all engage fully in discussion with open heart. Listen to one another with respect and carry forward the spirit of Sakyadhita in our community. In this connection, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers, Venerable, monks, and nuns, as well as distinguished academics who have generously agreed to share their wisdom and expertise with us. Your presence enriches this conference and inspires us all. Finally, I would like to remind our 400 or so participants here of this word of the Buddha. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, reserve your love or affection. May this conference be a place where we extend that love and compassion to one another, and where we find new ways to support and uplift Buddhist women everywhere. Once again, I welcome you to the 19th Sakyadhita International Conference. May this gathering be fruitful, inspiring, and transformative for us all. Thank you, and may the blessing of the Triple Gem be with us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crow. You may return to your seats.
我们感谢领长许觉喜居士温暖城市的致辞。
Next, we would like to invite Dr. Sharon Asa, President of Sakyadhita International Association of Buddhist Women, to come up on stage to say a few words of welcome.
接下来，让我们欢迎国际佛教善女人协会主席 Dr. Sharon Asa 博士为我们献上大会欢迎词。
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. What a pleasure to be here, and I want to extend my deepest gratitude for this wonderful occasion that we've had, and it's just the beginning, and there's already so much warmth and generosity that we've experienced here. And I first want to just thank all the volunteers who've made this happen. Beautiful, so thank you. Thank you so much. I want to thank Sarawak for inviting us here. What a wonderful, tremendous event. So, dear Venerables, Dharma friends, esteemed guests, and beloved members of the Global Sangha, on behalf of Sakyadhita International, it is truly my deepest honor and joy to welcome you all to the beginning of the Sakyadhita International Conference on Buddhist Women. What a wonderful and significant gathering of hundreds of Buddhist women, lay monastics, scholars, activists, artists, meditators, friends, gathered from every corner of the world. If you get a chance, just look around the room. What I see is just a wonderful diversity of practitioners and supporters. So this year we are joined by participants from over 35 countries, representing the diversity of traditions, cultures, languages, and lived experiences, whether you traveled from nearby Southeast Asia, across the Himalayas, East Asia, Australia, or other communities in Europe, Africa, or the Americas. Your presence here is profound, and it is a witness to the strength, the wisdom, and resilience and courage of Buddhist women from around the world. This global Sangha is profound and beautiful. The theme of this year's conference, Navigating Change, Buddhist Women in Transition, invites us to reflect on the deep transformative roles that Buddhist women continue to play across the world, not just in preserving the Buddha's teachings, but in applying them skillfully to meet the unprecedented needs of today's world. We need us more than ever. We need you more than ever. Buddhist women have always been agents of healing, courage, innovation, and peace. And while we gather to celebrate this history, we also need this energy and commitment moving forward. Over the next few days, we will explore this theme over several panels of academic presentations, experiential workshops, and a wide range of Dharma talks, roundtables, and community building activities. I really encourage you to attend as many of these events as you can, and I also encourage you to make sure that you meet people that you haven't met before. It's one of the joys of being at Sakyadhita is the friendships that develop. So if you see me out and about, please come say hello if we haven't met yet. So our panels will engage very urgent, pertinent issues today, including the challenges of bhikkhunis and laywomen, the intersection of Buddhist practice and LGBTQ+ identity, the emergence of female Buddhist leaders across Asia and beyond, the transmission of trauma-informed Dharma, and the role of women in sustaining monasticism and education. In addition, we have an exciting schedule of workshops ranging from meditation and chanting, healing through arts, nonviolent activism, interfaith dialogue, and care practices for elders, children, and animals, to name but a few. These workshops are opportunities for learning, for connection, but also vital acts of practice, empowerment, and joy. This conference is also a gathering of stories of Dharma practitioners who have broken ground, who have transformed their communities, and applied the profound abilities of the Dharma in the face of injustice. We are deeply honored to hear from monastics and lay women who embody the Buddhist path in wisdom and compassion and joy. And we're also touched by the intergenerational presence of this gathering. Our collective liberation really depends on our ability to include, to listen, and learn from young women and gender diverse practitioners to create new models of transformation. This year's conference includes panels that center their voices, their experiences, challenging us to practice not just mindfulness, but also justice, equity, and collective care. Now, none of this would have been possible without the devoted and tireless efforts of our incredible conference planning committee. So many people have come together over the course of over a year to make this possible, and I want to just name a few people of the many people, including Mr. Ko, President of the Kuching Buddhist Society. Thank you so much. I also want to thank and welcome and honor Dr. Sim, Jason Tan, welcome, thank you. We've been planning this for a long time, so I really appreciate all of your efforts. All of the volunteers from Kuching Buddhist Society, thank you. And especially Pek Yok Chua, where are you? Thank you so much. She has been working tirelessly for over a year to make this happen, so thank you so much for everything. Now, from the International Conference Planning Committee, including Venerable Karma Leksha Somo, thank you. Professor Eun-Soo Cho, Luna Kim, Tongren Zhang, Darcy Price-Wallace, and Cindy Lassako. And there's many more people who have made this happen, but your vision, your labor, and your care have brought this conference to life, and I'm so deeply grateful for that. From the earliest planning stages to this moment, all of these people and more have worked to ensure that this gathering would be a deep forum for dialogue, a celebration, and a nourishing gathering of body, mind, and heart. We are grateful for everything that has transpired so far and that will continue over the next few days. So everybody in this room, your commitment to Buddhist women is a wonderful example of compassionate community in action. And I want to extend a special thank you to the hospitality team of the Waterfront Hotel. This hotel has been tremendous in offering us everything that we need. All the staff has been incredibly gracious and patient with us as we navigate all the changes and all of the little details that we forget that go into planning a conference like this. I would be remiss also if I did not extend my deepest gratitude to our major donors, sponsors, and supporters. Your generosity ensures that Buddhist women, especially those from under-resourced regions, can have a seat at the table and a voice in this global dialogue and exchange. So your support is a profound act of selflessness, and we need the spirit of generosity more than ever. So, as we begin this conference, I invite us to learn from each other, celebrate with old friends, and meet new ones, and may this be a time and a space where you feel seen, inspired, and challenged. May it be a time and space to collaborate, celebrate, and plant new seeds of kindness, compassion, and deep friendship. This conference is a continuation of the journey that began nearly 40 years ago, and many of the early folks who began this Sakyadhita International Association are here today. And it will continue long after we return home. So the friendships you forge, the teachings you receive, and the new collaborations you create will become the causes and conditions of a more beautiful future. So thank you all for your presence, your practice, for your leadership, and your commitment to sustaining the Dharma and empowering our communities. So welcome to Sarawak and welcome to Sakyadhita 2025. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sharon, for the speech. You may take your seats.
谢谢 Sharon 博士的美好祝愿，我们也感谢国际佛教善女人协会多年来的努力和付出。
Next, we would like to invite the Venerable Guang Yong Sunin, President of Korean Bhikkhuni Association, to come up on stage to share a few words of welcome.
现在我们恭请的是韩国比丘尼协会会长 Venerable 光庸司令上台致欢迎词，有请。
존경하는 대회 참가 여러분, 오늘 이 아름다운 말레이시아 북친 땅에서 제19차 사카디타 세계 여성 불교 대회가 열리는 것을 진심으로 축하드립니다.
Respected conference participants, today I sincerely congratulate the opening of the 19th Sakyadhita International Conference on Buddhist Women here in the beautiful land of Kuching, Malaysia.
이 자리에 오신 모든 스님들, 제가 신자 여러분, 그리고 불교를 넘어 다양한 종교와 문화를 대표하는 여러분께 깊은 인사를 드립니다.
I extend my deepest greetings to all venerable monastics, lay practitioners, and representatives of diverse religions and cultures gathered here.
특히 이 대회를 위해 헌신하신 말레이시아 조직위원회와 추암택 여사님의 노고에 진심으로 감사드립니다.
I particularly want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Malaysia Organizing Committee and Madam Chua-Pek for their devoted efforts in making this meaningful event possible.
여러분들의 열정과 노력이 없다면 이렇게 뜻깊은 자리가 마련될 수 없었을 것입니다.
Without your passion and hard work, such a significant gathering could not have been realized.
오늘 이곳에서 2023년 서울에서 만났던 카르마 레세 소모스님, 펜진 파모스님, 서른서 회장님을 비롯한 많은 분들을 다시 뵙게 되어 큰 기쁨을 느낍니다.
It brings me great joy to reunite with many familiar faces here today, including former President Venerable Karma Lexie Somo, Venerable Tenzin Palmo, current President Professor Saron So, and many others.
마치 오랜만에 가족을 만난 것처럼 반갑고 감사한 마음 지극합니다.
Meeting you all again is like being reunited with your long-lost family members.
샤카디타 대회는 단순한 모임이 아닙니다. 전 세계 불교 여성들이 2년에 한 번씩 한데 모여 지혜를 나누고 서로 힘을 하나로 모으는 소중한 장입니다.
The Sakyadhita conference is just a meeting. It is a precious space where Buddhist women from around the world gather biennially to share wisdom and combine our strengths.
이러한 우리의 행보는 부처님의 사상을 바탕으로 이 세상을 평등의 세계로 평화의 세상으로 나아가게 하는 목적이 있습니다.
Grounded in the Buddha's teachings, our collective journey seeks to help shape a world of equality and peace.
2023년 서울 대회에서 저는 감동적인 순간을 목격했습니다.
At the 2023 conference, I witnessed a deeply moving moment.
국경과 언어를 초월해 명상에 잠긴 여러분들의 모습에서 고요함과 역동성이 조화를 이루며 깨달음의 에너지가 탄생하는 것을 느꼈습니다.
Seeing all of you immersed in meditation, transcending national borders and language, I felt a powerful energy of awakening.
그 자리에서 눈을 감으며 함께한 제 마음에도 평화의 파동이 퍼졌지요.
Closing my eyes beside you, waves of peace rippled through my heart.
이것이 바로 우리 여성 불자들이 만들어내는 기적이라고 생각합니다.
This is the miracle we Buddhist women create together.
이번 대회의 주제인 변화는 우리 모두가 직면한 과제입니다.
The theme of this conference, Navigating Change, reflects the challenge we all face.
이번 대회 우리 불교 여성들은 이 변화의 시대에 더욱 단단히 뭉쳐 서로의 지혜를 나누고 새로운 길을 개척해 나가야 합니다.
In this era of transformation, we Buddhist women must unite more firmly than ever, sharing our wisdom and pioneering new paths together.
말레이시아의 열정이 이번 대회에서도 새로운 역사를 쓰길 바라고 샤카디타 인터내셔널이 앞으로도 전 세계 불교 여성의 등불이 되어주길 바라며 우리 모두가 이 길에 앞장서자고 제안합니다.
May Malaysia's passion help us write a new chapter of history at this conference. May Sakyadhita International continue to be a guiding light for Buddhist women worldwide, and may we all take the lead in this journey together.
감사합니다.
Thank you, Venerable Bang Yoon, President of Bhikkhuni Association, Joge Order of Korean Bhikkhuni.
2025년 6월 16일 대한불교 조계종 전국 기분위 회장 박용 학장.
Thank you, the Venerable Guang Sunim, for that speech.
感谢韩国比丘尼协会会议长的致辞。
Next, we'd like to extend an invitation to our guest of honor, Yang Rahmat Dr. Amma Professor Dr. Sing Kui Hian, Deputy Premier of Sarawak and Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government, to come up on stage to present an official opening speech.
是的，我们荣幸的邀请到本届大会的开幕主宾，上任副总理兼公共卫生、房屋及地方政府部长拿督阿玛沈慧贤为大会发表开幕致辞。
Thank you very much for MC. Yang bahagia Councillor Prank Anak Notes representing YB Mr. Miro and Madam Roslyn Mbai Kasim, Senior Assistant Directors of Unit for Other Religions of Government Sarawak, Venerable Ayo Hema, the founders of Sakyadhita International Conference, Dr. Sharon R. Su, President Sakyadhita International Associations of Buddhist Women, Mr. Ko Kat Hee, President Kuching Buddhist Society, Mr. Jason Tan of Business Events Sarawak, Head of Religions or representatives from other religions from Sarawak, all the Venerable Buddhist leaders from abroad and Malaysia, distinguished guests, speakers, and ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. And salam saku sayang, salam Sarawak maju and makmur. First, let us use our Sarawak ways to welcome all of you to Sarawak. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh! Ha! Almost welcome to Sarawak. You know, and if it ooh, right, nobody ha, it means no Sarawakian or friends of Sarawak around. So next time you heard ooh, then you must know ha. Okay, let me share a little bit about Sarawak with you. In 1963, 4 countries, Singapore, Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak, coming together to form a country called Malaysia. That's why Sarawak is representing about 38% of land mass of Malaysia, but only 8% of population. So because that's why when you come here, you need your passport, you know, and that's one country, 2 system. And currently, we are only 8% of population because of immigration control, and we are 42% of Malaysia forest is in Sarawak, and we are net zero. And about this esteemed conference, which takes place every 2 years, has been hosted in some of the world's most culturally and spiritually significant cities, including Bangkok, Colombo, Taipei, Seoul, Sydney, and Hong Kong. Today, we in Sarawak are deeply privileged that Kuching has joined this distinguished list as a host for the year 2025. This is also the second time Malaysia has had the honor to hosting this conference. The first one was in Colombo in 2006. The decision to return to Malaysia and specifically to Kuching reflects our city's growing recognition as a clean, harmonious, and culturally vibrant destination. And you will find it in Sarawak, in Kuching. We live, we practice, and we celebrate multicultural religions and every day. And you also find that when you in 2006 and now it's a different Sarawak. You know, in 2006, right? Most of the time people doesn't even know where is Sarawak. In 2025, and the whole Malaysia look up to Sarawak, and a lot of 31 million Malaysians we said they can be Sarawakian, you know, and this is a big difference from 10 or 20 years ago. And today with your presence, you will enhance our status, and yet more reasons why more people want to become a Slovakian. As of today, we are delighted to welcome over 400 confirmed participants from more than 35 countries. So next time, Wuhan will be growing bigger. They are gathered here in Kuching to be part of this prestigious international event, and your presence is powerful testaments to the global commitment to uplifting the role of women in Buddhism. The theme this year's conference is Navigating Change, Buddhist Women in Transition. This theme speaks deeply to the challenges and the opportunities faced by women today as they respond to personal, social, spiritual change in a rapidly evolving world. And in fact, this theme, Navigating Change and in Transition, applies not just to the Buddhist women, it applies to many religions that what we are facing today. Because of the institutional changes, because of the generation changes, and because of the technological advances, the AI, and because of the climate change, and lastly, because of the increasingly conflicts in the world. In the midst of all this transformation, Buddhist women continue to lead with clarity, compassion, and resilience. This conference is a valuable platform for dialogues, for learning from one another, for supporting each other on the path of empowerment and awakening. I want to congratulate you for making an effort to do that. It is an invitation to examine how traditions and innovation can meet with integrity, and how the wisdom of the Dharma continues to guide us as we navigate the change of our time. And the values, the Dharma values, the Buddhism's values, the teaching is more important today than before. Because today, as a society advances, we tend to forget about all these values. Since the first conference held in 1987 in Bodh Gaya, India, Sakyadhita has grown into a global movement. Through each gathering, from Cambodia to Vietnam, or Nepal to Australia, the conference has offered a space for Buddhist women to be heard, be seen, to connect, and more importantly, to play your role, do your part for the Buddhism and for many of the places, nation building, and then in Sarawak in particular, we are at the stage of nation building. Here in Kuching, the 19th edition of this journey brings together a diverse and inspiring community with keynote speeches, academic presentations, workshops, Dharma talks, and cultural performance. This conference promises to be a rich and transformative experience. As we embark on a journey together over the coming days, over the next 5 days, let us remember that each dialogue we share, each insight we offer, contributes to the creation of a more peaceful and compassionate world. So the knowledge that you share, the friendship that you create, the network that you build, and it will inspire future actions, and on that part, you and me can make a difference to the whole world. Let the light of Dharma continue to shine, and may this gathering brings benefit not only to those present, but also to countless others throughout the world. So have a very blessed next 5 days conference, and hopefully that we got a chance to host you in the future in Kuching. Thank you very much.
我们请来宾留步，那我们感谢霍总理的下祝福以及深刻的勉励。
Thank you to YB who asked YB to remain on stage. Next, we would like to invite YB Chemiruana Simu, State Legislative Assembly of Venerable Srirambu, represented by Councillor Prem on notes. Dr. Georgina Afiangao, the Director of Unit for Other Religions, represented by Madam Rosalind Mbakasin. Venerable Karma Lecture Somo, the founder of the Sakyadhita International Association of Buddhist Women. Dr. Sharon Nasser, President of Sakyadhita International Association of Buddhist Women. Mr. Jason Tan Chin Fu, General Manager, Business Development and Marketing for Business Events Sarawak, and Mr. Kyo Hang Hee, President of Kuching Buddhist Society, to come up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be an important highlight for our opening ceremony. We'll have our crew to pass our tablet over to our guest of honor. Now, on my count, we invite Yang Berhormat to put the hand onto the screen. Ready? Now, on my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Official opening of the 19th Sakyadhita International Conference 2025 Dedicated Change Buddhist Women in Transition.
2025年第19届国际佛教圣人大会时代的舵手，佛教女性的转型正式启幕。
Now we ask Yang Berhormat and our fellow VIPs to remain on stage. Up next we have the light offering ceremony.
接着我们邀请主宾在各位嘉宾的陪同下，点起智慧的灯，献灯于佛前。
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for the light offering ceremony.
掌声有请！现在进行的就是点灯仪式。
Next, we would like to invite Yang Berhormat together with our fellow VIPs to move towards the center of the stage.
我们请贵宾们移步到台前。
Next, we would like to invite Mr. Kyo Hang Hee, President of Kuching Buddhist Society, to present the souvenir to Yang Berhormat, our guest of honor. Thank you, Yang Berhormat, for gracing our event with your presence. We are truly grateful for your generous support.
是的，我们现在见证的就是国际佛教居士联领长许觉喜居士，他代表大会致赠纪念品给 YB 南都阿卡什会先，感谢阁下亲临大会，给予我们莫大的支持与鼓励，我们深感荣幸与感激。
Next, we would like to invite Mr. Ko to also present to Yang Berhormat in Cengirana Simu, represented by Councillor Prem. Next, once again, we would like to invite Mr. Ko to present a souvenir to Dr. Georgina, represented by Madam Rosalie. Thank you for coming for the event. And now we would like to invite Mr. Ko to present a souvenir to Mr. Jason Tan, General Manager for Business Development and Marketing from Business Events Sarawak. Thank you for taking time to join us at this afternoon as well. Alright, let us take a group photo on stage.
是的，接下来我们将进行的就是大合照的环节。我们恭请大会官方的摄影师上台，从舞台上方进行拍摄。好，我们先这样拍一个大合照，让贵宾和主宾一起拍张大合照。
Once again, we would like to thank Yang Berhormat as well as our fellow VIPs for joining. We'd like to thank Yang Berhormat and our fellow VIPs. Kindly take your seats.
我们感谢 YB 以及各位贵宾的莅临还有参与，恭请阁下以及各位贵宾移步回座，谢谢。
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we'll be taking a group photo together with everyone in this hall. We'll be inviting our official videographers and photographers to go up on the stage. And later on, we'll be taking photos from the stage down to you.
是的，现在进行的是正式的大合照环节。那摄影师准备好了，接下来我们要从舞台上方进行拍摄。
Alright, make sure that you can be seen. It's going to take a little bit of work from our photographers. We can have our crew as well to take your seats. Everyone make sure you can be seen.
是的，大家
And
可以
our
试好。
volunteers as well.
是的，大家可以试好自己，在镜头时看到自己。
Our volunteers from the back, make sure you can be seen as well, right? Alright, are you ready? Now let's go. 1, 2, 3. Alright, one more. For official photo, 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's keep posing with a lot of photographers and videographers on the stage. Alright, thank you to our official photographers and videographers. Thank you so much.
谢谢团队合作，感谢你们。
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our group of dancers are taking time to get ready for the dance performance. In the meantime, once again, we want to welcome everyone to Kuching. We hope that in this coming few days, everyone will have a pleasant stay. Feel free to dine into our local delicacies, kolomi. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's okay. Look for our local crew. Tell them you want the most delicious dish. They'll direct you to kolomi, okay? And other than that, we have also other delicacies here. We have midin. Maybe you have not heard of it. It's okay. It's very delicious. I recommend to you, alright? And of course, later on at 7 p.m., we have a city tour at Waterfront. It's a free and easy session. You get to look at our night views and night sceneries as well. So feel free to enjoy it while you're in Kuching. And once again, welcome to Kuching.
欢迎大家来到古晋。那在这里跟大家简单的介绍一下古晋。我们这里，如果你想要点餐的话，你可以点我们本地只有在古晋沙拉越有的咖喱菜、米粒等等。那在这里跟大家分享一下，等一下7点钟呢会有 City Tour 在 Waterfront，所以大家都可以踊跃的参与。
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let us enjoy another dance performance. Please welcome KBS Culture Troupe for the blessings of the Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara.
让我们一同欣赏另外一段精彩的表演，有请古晋佛教居士林文化团呈现舞蹈《耀世千华》。
performance by PBS countered to the blessings by Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara.
感谢来自国际佛教居士联文化团带来精彩的表演，耀世千华。
Let's give them another big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the departure of our guest of honor, Yang Terhormat Dato' Ahmad Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hien, Deputy Premier of Sarawak and Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government, followed by our distinguished VIPs.
本次大会主宾沙拉越副总理兼公共卫生法务及地方政府部长大多阿玛沈圭贤将在贵宾的陪同下离席，恭请各位嘉宾暂时留在座位上，与接下来的大会节目即将继续的进行。
At the same time, we invite other guests to remain on this seat for our next program. Ladies and gentlemen, next we would like to invite Dr. Pamela Ayoyetunde from Sakyadhita International for the keynote address on adapting to the reality of our power.
接下来是本届大会主题演讲，我们将聆听的是来自国际佛教善女人协会的 Dr. Pamela Ayoyetunde 带来的主题演讲，题为“因我们真实的力量”，掌声有请。
I'm overwhelmed by this conference and this gathering, and I also feel very grateful to all the causes and conditions for bringing us together at this time. Thank you all for being here. And I have written my remarks so that I don't forget to share what's on my heart. I have a lot on my heart, and I'm guessing that's the case for all of you as well. There was reference to the conflicts taking place throughout the world, and I just feel really grateful in this moment that we have the freedom and the privilege and the resources to be together at this time. Thank you. So I want to say good day, good day, good day, Sakyadhita International Association of Buddhist Women. Again, I'm so grateful to be with you all right here in Kuching, in Sarawak, on Borneo, in Malaysia, all the way from the United States. Thank you, Planning Committee, for the enormous amount of work you engaged in to bring us together. And thank you for inviting me to be a part of this auspicious gathering at this dangerous time in world history. My name is Pamela Ayoyetunde. I go by Ayo. I'm a Buddhist practitioner living in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. I'm also a counselor and a scholar. I have conducted research on whether Buddhist practices are good for Black people, African American people, in the United States, and I have found that Buddhism is good, is great for the mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being of people, including Black people in the United States. But for now, I would like to return to the subject of women worldwide. In the United States and around the world, people are negotiating the understanding of what a woman is, what her role in society should be, what determines her worth, and whether she is worthy of self-determination. For Buddhist women in particular, maybe, we are still navigating the changes that take place within us when we reflect on the impact of Buddhist practices on our sense of a gendered self. It seems clear to me that gender still matters, and it is vitally important that we take our lives seriously, because who we are and what we are capable of, in my view, it is immeasurable. It is psychologically, though, complicated to be a Buddhist woman who, without question, follows Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist anthropology. The foundation of Buddhist teachings, for all the wisdom and healing and inspiration that comes from it, is largely based on the awakening experiences of one man 2,600 years ago in Nepal. One ancient male construct is not something contemporary women throughout the world can fit neatly into, but it is through the exercise of our power that we have sought out how Buddhism can support women and humanity to be liberated in every way possible. This is a power cultivated by curiosity and courage, mindfulness, as well as teachings and practices in the Brahma Viharas, or four immeasurables, or the heavenly abodes. And those are loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and sympathetic joy. The cultivation of Buddha intelligence and Buddha power are worthier of examination and application, especially by Buddhist women all over the world, and especially now, because these practices help us navigate change in transition, which is a constant throughout our entire lives. So as you know, this is an international conference, and I've said it before, I am from and live in the United States. In the United States, there are currently, maybe always have been, but very prominent right now, influential and extremely wealthy people, wealthier than some nations, many nations. They have an international, and they are saying publicly and convincingly that empathy, an important emotional factor in the Brahma Viharas, is wrong. And I want to say this again, and then ask you to reflect with me. Influential and extremely wealthy people with international appeal and acclaim in the United States right now are saying publicly and convincingly that empathy is wrong. If this is true, then the factors that lead to loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and sympathetic joy are also wrong. So you know they're not right. We're right? You know that. From a Buddhist psychology perspective, the implication of this anti-empathy term is that the sense doors have no meaning. The consciousness that arises as the result of us using our sense doors to perceive the external world must then, if we agree with these folks, everything that we experience is patently distorted and irredeemable. The suggestion is that human beings should be more like robots and privilege artificial intelligence over our own. Do you think this is right? What do you think? Is this right? No, of course not. Okay, thank you for affirming and validating my concerns and opinions. So we have some choices before us. Human, versus robot? I think so. Feelings versus no empathy? Come on now. If you've reflected on this invitation, then in this moment, you use the power of your human intelligence. And if you use the power of your human intelligence and concluded that we should not become like robots without empathy, then you used your Buddha intelligence. If you thought more deeply about this question, then maybe you got to the place, if I gave you time to get there, you got to the place where you realized that we simply are unable to raise the next generation of human beings to be unempathetic, robot-like children. Because children only thrive when empathetic people raise them. Our power as Buddhist women is to say collectively that we renounce the ignorance that undermines the cultivation of empathy. And we, like we have before, will navigate this transition away from humanity to bring us back to our true homes. Our true homes being our very human beingness. Now, I'd like to dig a little deeper into the story of Siddhartha Gautama's enlightenment journey. I'm inspired by the life of Siddhartha Gautama and his story, or his many stories. Like many people, his parent, his father, had an agenda for his child that he was afraid would not manifest if his son encountered a wise person who would tell his son about the life cycles of human beings, including our vulnerabilities. Parents make decisions all the time about when and what they will expose their children to. And as the story goes, Siddhartha Gautama, even with his high position in society, including his wealth, still didn't know what most people on earth knew before they became adults. This is because he was shielded from reality. Once he encountered illness, aging, death, and so on, he experienced a moment of disempowerment. His world and self-view were shattered. Shocking? Yes. Traumatic? You bet. But he used his shock and trauma as motivation for navigating change. And in so doing, he gained self-power to learn and accept what is real. This is what it means to adjust to the reality of our power. When we want to learn and accept what is real, by adjusting, we are using our self-power for positive purposes, to bring ourselves into reality and learn how to steady ourselves for what may come next. As this is an international conference, I feel that it's important to share a message with you from the United States. Here's one message. Here's one truth. There is a persistent effort to deliberate women. In other words, many law and policymakers are gathering in their legislative chambers and offices to determine how to incentivize younger women to abandon the work that brings them a sense of competence, even joy, and instead get married, have children, and stay at home and obey their husbands. I know that not every woman in every country is concerned about being deliberated, but in the United States, there are now even governmental threats to surveil pregnant women. It is also the case that when human rights violations increase in the United States, law and policymakers in other countries imitate and emulate our elected officials. It is this choice to detach our feelings from the suffering of others that begs a powerful response from us if we are willing to adapt to the reality of our power. And we can adapt to the reality of our power by committing to being skilled spiritual friends to one another, which is what I think this whole endeavor is about. To become skilled spiritual friends to one another and really committing to being on this path together. Really committing to being in life, living for the welfare of others and ourselves, sometimes with attention on healing our own hurts, sometimes with attention on supporting others in their healing, always returning, because we are humans who make mistakes, but we are Buddhist practitioners. So we are always returning to our ethical ground of being when we realize we've stepped away from it. That realization and that commitment to return is power. Buddha power, informed by Buddha intelligence, that with the cultivation of patience and mindfulness allows us to adjust to our power in due time. Why is timing important? It is said that it took 6 years in the wilderness, 6 years in a near-death experience, preceded by being exhausted by efforts to avoid the human condition, before Siddhartha Gautama was in a situation where an empathetic, compassionate, and generous girl, Sujata, saw a starving man and offered him nourishment that he did not refuse. Would he have accepted her offer if he had not been hungry? Was he hungry when he first fled to the forest? He was hungry for something. Was he hungry after the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and part of the 6th year of spiritual practice? For whatever reason, awakening took a long time. Would she have forced the nutriment into his mouth if he had refused it? Who knows? But sometimes in our quest to provide people advice and other things we think they need, we unwittingly force advice and things onto people who have not had the time to arrive at a place where they know they're suffering and are willing to relieve it. It takes time, the right conditions, the human Buddha intelligence that comes from our sorrow, and Buddha intelligence to sense how we should use our power to help create the conditions whereby one can adjust to the reality of their own power. Because when in the state of deep suffering, and I'm sure you can relate to what I'm about to say, when we are in a state of deep suffering, we don't believe we have power. We all have power in different amounts, even when we think we've lost it. And a good spiritual friend, as I know you all are and can be and will continue to be, a good spiritual friend can remind us of the power we think we've lost. And a really good spiritual friend, which I know we all are, a really good spiritual friend can help us navigate change in times of transition. We need support in navigating these changes. Now, my friends, the ones who I know, the ones I've met, and the ones I will meet, even the ones I may not meet this time around. The time is here for us to reflect on the cultural atmospheres we find ourselves in. Please give some thought to where you live and with whom you live. Do the conditions in the places you usually find yourself, do those places support thriving? Where do you see loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and sympathetic joy in the laws and policies and rules of your households, neighborhoods, and countries? Are the people around you living into their power, living in the midst of feeling disempowered, on the road to adjusting to their power, using their power for good or not, in need of support of the wholesome uses of power? Is your power as a Buddhist woman, as a Buddhist practitioner, typically used secretly? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I asked this question about secrecy for a reason. Recently, I participated as a teacher in a program about Buddhist women and leadership. I suggested to the group that we watch the debate between two U.S. presidential candidates, one a white man, the other a black-brown woman, or a brown-black woman. For the U.S., it was a historic matchup. As you can imagine, there was some pushback to the idea that Buddhist women, even in a leadership course, should watch a political debate. I believe it was a reaction because some Buddhists have been taught to ignore politics. My view is that politics, at its foundation, is about the organization of people who decide the conditions for our attempts at living together. Consequently, problems and solutions arise from these organizations of people. So to ignore the phenomena of our coexistence, our co-being, and opportunities for collaboration is to negate the importance of knowing the causes and conditions of our suffering, as well as the relief from suffering. As Buddhist practitioners, we say we don't want to live in ignorance. So let's pay attention to how politics is affecting us all, especially when we've been told to turn away from reality. The subjugation of women manifests largely through politics, policy, and law, and bodhisattvic women work to prevent suffering. One of the teachers who watched that debate said that she learned as a woman that she should not go toe-to-toe against a man. Her method of using her power would be subversive because she did not want to experience the repercussions of punishment that would be sure to follow if she succeeded in outdoing a man in the public eye. So let's reflect on this for a moment. The Buddhist teacher didn't say that she would not use her power, but that she would use it skillfully. That is not to say that the woman political candidate did not use her power skillfully. She most certainly did, in my view. And she had to, because that particular debate game is not played in any other way but showing up and showing out. She won the debate on skill, truthfulness, and calling out the dehumanization of others. But alas, millions of people in the United States do not judge their representatives, their political elected officials, based on Buddhist values. The woman candidate was only temporarily disempowered and has taken the time necessary to adjust to the power she still has. One way I know that the time and energy it takes to adjust to the reality of our power, the way I know that it is being well spent is when a person who's been knocked down comes back in the interest in the well-being of others and engages with others and works to empower others. This is what we do, and this is a reason why we get up after we've been kicked down. And this is what I call evidence of relational resilience. It's a remarkable quality that inspires others to also engage when fear is so present in our society right now. Societies throughout the world, there is fear. Can we, as spiritual friends, provide the nutriments necessary to bring the downtrodden back to life, like Sakyadhita did for Siddhartha Gautama? I don't know why I'm asking these rhetorical questions because I already know the answer is yes. We do it, we've been doing it, and we'll do it again. After years of observing Black women in the United States hold positions of political power, whereby they were obligated to hold the present president, who was then the former, or who's now, but anyway, the person who was the president is president again. In that in-between stage, he was found guilty of many things, in violation of many things, and almost every time he was being held accountable, there was a Black woman there holding him accountable. Watching this, I knew that if he returned to office, this would be terrible for Black women. Consequently, in my attempt to be a good spiritual friend, I developed and offered a course on spiritual direction or spiritual friendship, whereby we reflected on assessing a woman's level of power, whether a sense of dignity was needed to be restored or recaptured, whether there were any emotional or psychological injuries for her being forced to undo or erase the diversity, equity, and inclusion work that she had done. Whether Black women were being stigmatized and dehumanized, and whether the spiritual friend could help the person co-create a plan for empowerment. I don't know for sure, but I hope that this course was in the spirit of being a good spiritual friend to help women get back up and keep moving upward and forward, especially after defeat, because the fight is not over. I mentioned earlier that I'm a counselor and a scholar. I did my doctoral research on African American women who practice Buddhism. I learned through that research that these women in the insight meditation tradition, practicing mindfulness, loving kindness meditation, going on meditation retreats, defining no self or non-self as interdependence, embracing African spirituality and or the Christian tradition that they were brought up with, combined with Buddhist traditions, that they were using pretty much all the spiritual and religious and cultural artifacts of their lives to support their awakening. They were cultivating relational resilience, the ability to be mostly non-judgmental, embracing of differences, and not oppressive, even though they belong to multiple oppressed groups. I call this remarkable because conventional wisdom would suggest that these women would be downtrodden and facing difficulty in having positive relationships. But because of their deep commitments to Buddhist practice and philosophy, they aren't severely damaged by being vilified. That's because of Buddhism. And isn't that remarkable? This is another way of saying through Buddhism and life's vicissitudes that we can learn to see with as little prejudice and judgment as possible, life's ups and downs, empowerment, disempowerment, and adjustments and readjustments to the reality of power, to learn how to skillfully use power to speak truth where there is deceit, declare interconnection where there is alienation and dehumanization, generosity where there is greed, and power where there is disempowerment. Friends, spiritual friends, kinfolk, we don't have forever to try to get things right between us. And by us, I mean, I don't just mean people in the room, I mean humanity. We don't have forever to try to get it right. If someone were to ask you the question, how many more children have to die of starvation to get you activated to support a hunger program, what number would you state? How many more? How many more children have to die of starvation to get activated to support a hunger program? How many more women have to be raped before we get activated to support an anti-rape program? How many more girls have to be sold into sexual bondage before we support a movement for freedom? The list goes on and on, the questions go on and on, the forms of oppression and dehumanization go on and on. And you don't have to be involved in every movement. Choose one that is close to home, and while supporting that cause, think globally and remind those in power, because we also have power, that they can do better than what they've been doing. Whether we believe in our hearts or not, let's have faith in the Buddhist teachings that even if you are being torn limb by bandits, you will not abandon the heart and mind of loving kindness. I know that's hard. That is a hard one. That's harder than turning the other cheek. Even if you're being torn limb by bandits, you will not abandon the heart and mind of loving kindness by reminding the perpetrator that they can do better than what they're doing. Like the Buddha told Angulimala, the man who chased after the Buddha to kill him, that Angulimala needed to stop. The Buddha was confessing to a murderer that he too had stopped, that he had stopped living in ignorance. This koan, as I call it, this koan caused Angulimala to fall to his knees in devotion. Friends, kinfolk, I think it's time for us to fall to our knees in devotion. Devotion to the goodness that is part of human intelligence, informed by the Buddha intelligence that demonstrates that the knowledge of our sorrow is the beginning of wisdom. The knowledge of our sorrow is what helps us empathize with others. The power to empathize with others is the foundation of human civilization. Human civilization can be hastened when Buddhist women speak truth to deception. And when we get together, like we are right now, when we get together today, this evening, and the rest of this conference and beyond, we are strengthening Indra's net, our cosmic interconnectivity that is inescapable. And we do this by shining our mirrors and polishing our gems to reflect, without distortion, our true Buddha nature and receive that true Buddha nature, pristine reflection from others. Thank you all for being the shining stars that you are. But wait, I got more good news to tell you about yourself. I'll be real, it's been hard. It has been hard being on this planet right now. And there are moments where I wonder how we're gonna make it through. But looking out on you all right now, this is it, this is the way. And so I'm so glad to live into this experience with you all. My faith is strengthened by Sakyadhita International Association of Buddhist Women, this conference, and the ability and the privilege and honor to talk about power. And we don't have to talk about it in secret. It's real, it's palpable. Let's use it for the good of all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pamela, for that wonderful keynote speech.
感谢来自旁边的睿智深刻的分享，让我们都能够在变动的时代中察觉，然后接纳自己的力量。
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've prepared some refreshments for everyone outside, so feel free to help yourself. But before that, we've got a few reminders for everyone. Please take note. So for those that's doing transport back to KBS, Kuching Buddhist Society, for those staying at KBS, we have two pickup time. One is at 6 p.m. But for those that wish to stay longer for the next program and so on, we have another pickup time at 9 p.m. Alright?
那女士们、先生们，我们大会已经为大家准备了一些的茶点，所以呢，欢迎大家前往去享用，一边交流一边休息。那在这里跟你分享一下，就是今天呢有2趟的接驳车。如果说你要入住如果你是入住居士的一个嘉宾的话呢，发车的时间有2个，第一个是傍晚6点。另外一个是晚上9点，所以大家可以根据自己的行程来安排时间，感谢配合。
Now both will be picked up at the hotel lobby. Next, after the chanting session later on, you are free to return to the hotel for rest or enjoy a leisure walk along the waterfront where you can view the Golden Bridge and catch the musical fountain show at Riverside starting at 8:30 p.m.
那等一下的诵经仪式结束之后呢，大家可以选择返回酒店休息，又或者是你可以去河滨公园散散步啊，可以欣赏一下夜间这个黄金桥很漂亮的，也可以欣赏8点钟等一下会有这个音乐喷泉表演，就可以结束今天美好的一天。
And of course, to all presenters scheduled for tomorrow, kindly submit your PowerPoint slides to our audio and technical team located on the right side of this hall. Alright? Please look for them, submit your slides for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
那在这里提醒，明天如果有简报的这个任务讲者们、演讲者，请在今天尽早将你的 PowerPoint 简报档案交给我们这右边的音响还有技术团队，我们会帮你好好的做这个设备还有内容的准备，所以希望大家好好的配合。Thank you.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to enjoy your refreshments. It has been a pleasure hosting the opening ceremony for you. Once again, my name is TP. Have a pleasant stay. See you next time.
非常荣幸能够为大家主持今天的开幕典礼，我是 Bobo 李波音，感谢各位的参与，我们明天见。